Yo, yiggity, yo.
We back to talk
What's up?
about Natalia
The
Grace.
Curious Case of Natalia Grace.
Part 2.
Yep, part 2.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
Yeah.
I just remembered. I was like, yeah, we are on part 2. But
Yeah.
if you haven't watched part 1, you probably want to watch part 1 before
Yeah.
you get into this because you're not really going to know where we're at in the story.
Yeah.
Right. So go back, watch that one, and then come join us here.
We're going to be talking about season 2 and 3, and there's a lot of like repetitive information regarding the case that we've already talked about in season 1, but we get it from more so from Natalia's perspective this time.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's interesting because you also hear some facts that weren't stated in the last season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we're going to talk about season 3, where she moves in with the family she's currently living with now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much,
So much
going
there.
on.
So much.
Yeah.
Because first we should introduce ourselves.
Yes. Welcome to Grim Reviews. If you haven't watched this before, my name is Bex,
I'm Cherish.
I'm Lizzie.
and we are a true crime podcast
Yes.
discussing all things grim and gruesome. And today, like I said, we're getting into Natalia Grace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and definitely trigger warnings for child abuse.
Right.
Yes. And
Yes.
also know we have a darker sense of humor. If that's not something that you're into, we apologize, but it's probably for the best that you continue to scroll
Scooch.
on.
Keep going.
But that's just how we digest and how we process the stories that we come across. So we are going to chuckle. We are going to make a little bit of jokes, but we are sensitive to the victims.
Yeah, I promise you we're not cruel. We're just, sometimes there's some silliness in crimes, and it's like, how did they get away with this? How did they think they were going to get away with this? So we make jokes about that, but not the victims.
We're just
So-
we're just coping. It's
Yeah.
better
We're
to
just-
laugh
yeah.
than cry, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If I don't laugh, I'll cry.
It's about the same.
All right, part 2. Where are we starting? I think we finished season 1 last time.
Yeah, season 1,
Okay.
and now we're getting into season 2, where Natalia comes forward. I'd say the last season was mostly narrated by Michael because he
Right.
thinks it's the Michael
It was the Michael
documentary.
show.
Right.
Which Bex did show me like clippets of him and
Oh, you saw some?
Yeah, just
Good.
like how he talked and stuff, and he definitely is a drama
Drama queen.
queen.
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions about that a little bit, but
The queen
that's not-
part?
Yeah,
Me too. Me too. I'm there with you. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like, is the radar that I have off or is it accurate? I don't really know. So we're just
The whole
No.
time I was like,
huh.
really? Okay.
Huh.
Someone's
Hey,
gaydar on.
To each his
Little
own,
bit,
but
to each his own. I mean,
quite feminine.
Yeah, we
It-
should ask our
yes,
viewers.
very
Did you
much
did
so.
you pick up anything? You know
Getting
what we're
some
putting
gay
down.
vibes, you know.
yeah. I mean,
Which-
it is what it is.
Good for you. I just want him to live a true and happy life.
Right, with
Yeah.
Christine out of the picture.
Come out of that closet, Michael. Come on now.
You
Come
know,
forward, tell us the truth.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was like an update on that and he was.
Right.
So.
in the near future, maybe. Yeah.
What, he got somebody now?
Yeah,
Yes,
he's married.
to a woman.
Oh shoot, I forgot. Oh.
Yeah, she supported him during his whole trial,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they're still together as far as I know.
Really?
Yeah, she seems really supportive.
She does.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? Maybe I take it back. There can be feminine guys out there that are married to
Sure.
women and in love. So it is
Sure.
what it is. Maybe
I
he's
just want him
that.
to live his authentic life.
Yes,
Whatever
for
that
sure.
is.
But it's
Well, you
hard
know
to
people don't
tell
do that.
what's authentic in this documentary because
Yeah, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of lying going on.
there is.
Well, because yeah,
Lots.
Natalia then enters the scene with her POV.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Natalia, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, she's like, let me tell you what really happened.
Mm-hmm. So they kind of go through all of the clips of Michael talking about
Mm-hmm.
things and making accusations against Christine or against
then she
Natalia.
Says what really happened.
What really
Mhm.
happened. Yeah. And the first thing that she points out getting into the second season is that it was not a closed adoption like Michael was
Mhm.
stating, and that they did actually meet her previous adoptive family. I never am able to say their last name, the Chicones.
The Jaconis. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Chaconi.
for some reason, Michael keeps lying. Like, no, it was a closed adoption. We never met them. But if you did notice that one conversation that they had together, he goes, well, they dropped you off in the room and then left. So I was like, well, technically you saw them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you caught that little slip.
Right, but
Mhm.
investigators also brought up email exchanges and stuff between the Chaccones and the Barnett
Right.
family. And there were legal proceedings regarding closing or finishing the adoption, the paperwork and all of that, and signed documents from each of them. And they had to be in the same room for that.
Right,
So
exactly.
it's
They
all the
talked to
evidence
each other.
is there that they
Yeah.
actually talked to each other and met each other. So I don't know why Michael is continuing to claim that didn't happen.
It makes me wonder, like, why die on that sword? You know,
Right,
I don't
right.
know. But he continues to be like, no, we never met them.
Right.
Okay.
And they kind of, the producer and the investigators involved in a documentary kind of theorize that Michael is dying on the sword, as you say, because they're trying to cover up why their motive behind re-aging Natalia.
Right.
Right.
Because at first, you know how we said Shepherd's Care was the adoption agency that Michael claims to have called them, and all the adoption things.
And they were
took
like,
place.
last minute child, you want to pick her
Right,
up?
right.
Yeah.
There was actually
That's not
another
what
adoption
happened.
agency involved that was never talked about, and I think it was called Gatewood's Way or something like that. So it was
Gateway, yeah.
another adoption agency
Like,
who-
set them up with Shepherd's Care.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and they had Natalia's prior medical records, and this adoption agency had proved
They had her birth certificate. They
Yeah.
had her medical records.
they had a doctor
everything.
come in and say,
shoot.
"Oh, this is actually her age."
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think they wanted to bring that evidence forward,
Oh,
which is
definitely
why
not.
that adoption agency is never
You
discussed.
think it's because, like, I don't know. There's some theories there, because it's just kind of like how she came about and how, you know, like, who all knew where she came from, and it's just like, how much did they know how sketchy that setup about getting Natalia was? Were they completely unaware, or did they know more about that?
Who? Like the Barnetts?
The Barnetts, and it's just like her adoption in general, like the fact that it was just so
I think it
covered
was,
up with information through the agency they went through.
Mhm.
Like, did they just truly not know anything, or are they just like
I think they
assuming-
did know, and that's why they're
Yeah.
pretending like they don't know. Does that
I
make
think
sense?
they knew a
Yeah.
lot more than what they're
Yeah,
saying.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's just like the reason why they don't want to like allude that or like confirm that they did know is because why?
They wanted to re-age her and get rid of her.
Mhm.
Or also maybe because she was illegally taken.
Possibly, like her
I don't
backstory,
know.
they do
Yeah.
talk about in the documentary about her
Was she
memories at
trafficked?
Right,
You
that's what I'm
know?
saying.
And
Like,
there's a lot of gray areas, and she only has like fleeting little snippets of
Right.
what happened at the
Right.
orphanage. It was
And
creepy.
possible, like, this old man possibly abused her. She's
Right.
got, like, kind of, like, foggy memories because of it. So
Mhm.
she's not real sure what all happened.
Yeah, so the
Right.
part that Cherish was watching with me was
Okay.
when Natalia remembered that she was just in the orphanage, and then suddenly somebody put something like a sheet or something over her face, and she
face.
blacked out.
Mhm.
And then she
Right.
woke up in a doctor's office, and there was a guy leaning over her in a white shirt, and then she blacks out again, and then wakes up and she's back in the
Very
orphanage.
disturbing,
and there
'cause
was an injection involved.
Who knows what happened?
But
Right.
get this, the producers hand her like a picture, like they hand over
Yeah,
their
of
phone
that
and say,
guy.
"Oh, do you know?"
And she
who
goes,
this
how did you
is?"
get that picture?
And they said
Yeah.
lots of research. I'm
Yeah.
like, what
Yeah.
else are we
Google?
hiding? I
Yeah.
feel like this documentary is so
Yes.
sketchy because it's like, how are you
Interesting.
bringing forward this information
That
but
she doesn't
not
even know,
digging
yeah.
into
She
that?
doesn't even know. Yeah.
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 But then
that
what do
is
the
weird.
producers know? Well, how did they get that photo?
And
That's
tell
my
her.
question.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Who is their connection?
I don't have no idea. I'm wondering if there's something bigger going on there. Is a trafficking
Yeah.
case or something that can't be discussed?
That can't be discussed.
Right.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because they just
Never
show
even thought about that.
Her reaction to it too just seemed so just like
She was
what?
stunned.
Yeah.
It seemed like she recognized him, but
Mm-hmm.
also like didn't know the full story.
Yeah.
And whether
Very much
that's
so.
trauma blocking it out, who knows?
Right.
You know, or she just can't remember. She was young,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
not everyone can recall
It
those
must
memories.
suck to feel like you're so confused of like your childhood and everything, but then
Mhm.
like people around you know that people around you know the answers or know more information than you do.
Right.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's so
it's just like a
frustrating.
frustrating and sucky situation, and I kind of feel like it's just so unfair with someone that got mistreated the way that she did,
Mhm.
and yet to this day it just kind of seems like people aren't really forthcoming of like everything that's happened to her, and she
I
can't
know.
even really tell anybody really exactly what happened to her.
And it keeps happening over and over and over where
Mhm.
people, you know, like things happen. she's not really filled in on it because she's also young.
Right.
And they just keep passing her from one person to it.
And she
to the
doesn't
other.
understand why.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the Chaconi's
She's
were just
not
like, I'm no
explained.
longer your mother, and
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
passed her on to the Barnetts.
Can you
and-
imagine? That's
Yeah.
terrible.
The
Yeah.
best the best reason I can think of is just like people know that they did something wrong and they're trying to cover it
Exactly.
up.
They're being
themselves. They don't
selfish.
wanna,
Yes.
you
Yeah,
know,
they don't want to
Mhm.
explain
I agree.
incriminate
themselves.
their own selves. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and we know
It's
why
all about them.
right, and we know why the Barnetts didn't return her back to the adoption agency, and that was to
Right.
keep their
Image.
status.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
for
I wrote a book.
Right.
You
You,
did?
know,
You
she
know?
made.
Oh.
You did. Yes, Lizzie wrote a book about this.
Yes,
story.
y'all haven't heard about it?
It's
Maybe
the
one day.
glasses, girl. I'm over here like, wait, when did you write a book?
I'll do one of these.
I was a little bit excited. I was like, you did?
Why haven't we heard about it?
I know.
already?
Yeah.
It's called The Spark.
She made $600,000
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
Or that was the advance for the
Yeah.
book. We don't even
Mhm.
know how much she made
Yeah.
after that.
After that.
And she didn't give anything to her kids or
Nope.
Michael. And Jacob and her.
I love how Jacob is like, yeah, I mean, my face is on the front. So, like, you think I would get something, but he got nothing out
No,
of it.
and her excuse was, well, I used it to get you to college in Canada, and I guess he just hung up on her. And so they're not really talking
Fuck, I
right
would
now.
too.
You know what I
Mhm.
noticed too in this documentary? The amount of times that like Christine, that's her name, right?
Christine,
Yeah,
yeah.
Christine is obsessed with killing and like dying and stuff. Because I've
Explain.
noticed that like she's said the phrases of like, your dad's gonna kill you, people are gonna
Oh,
kill
yeah.
you, this
Oh.
and that and the other, and
When
it's
she
just
was
like just a
turning the
little bit
family on
over
Michael.
obsessive.
Yeah.
don't
Well, she was
No.
just trying to cut people out left and right. You could see like Natalia
Yeah.
had to go first, and then Michael had to
Michael.
go.
God,
and
who knows
she-
who's next?
She
Ruby Frankie
wanted
2.0.
to
Sorry.
like create this narrative, this story to her children. Like, this is why I had to do it. It
Mhm.
wasn't me.
I was
you know.
the victim.
Did
of
they
I was
it.
the
ever show
victim.
in the documentary like them asking a question of like, did you really think that your dad was gonna kill you, or come to kill
No.
you?
Well,
I
the
don't
two
remember.
younger boys aren't in it,
The
so
It's
one
Jacob.
then.
yeah,
I
just
don't
I think
Jacob.
he would understand that question if she was over Cecily or just like had said it more than once. Or I would imagine that like something like that is pretty intense and you wouldn't forget it.
He seemed
So it's-
hesitant to, and maybe he was too old at this point for it to really matter, you know, about the divorce. But he seemed very hesitant to talk about Christine at all because maybe she's still going through legal, you know, whatever turmoil. Like maybe
Mhm.
she still could be sued for something.
Yeah.
He just seemed very cautious about what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He did. It
I
was
feel like-
kind of limited.
I feel like, yeah, there was more information there that he could give, but, and two, maybe he doesn't want his mom to hate him, which I understand.
yeah.
You
he
know,
does seem traumatized.
he
so-
does.
Because
Poor
it
guy.
did
They
seem
all
like
do.
the second part just really went into kind of like the switch and reversal of like how everything that happened to Natalia was like a second wave of just what had happened to what's his name, Michael? What's his name? The husband.
Yeah. Well, I
Michael,
mean,
yeah.
the whole narrative changed from at first he was like talking about how awful Natalia is, and then like the second interview it switches to no, Christine's the abuser and we were all abused.
Right.
You know.
Right. He doesn't take any accountability.
doesn't.
when-
Not at all.
And I honestly, it's so. I'm really wondering why they decided to put
That's crazy.
Natalia
yeah.
and Michael together in one room.
Yeah.
was that
Let's
really
see in that
beneficial
part.
for
Let's talk
anyone?
about this.
That was
Well, I
so
mean, it was good
uncomfy.
TV.
It was good TV.
It was
yeah.
good TV.
But
Yeah.
was it beneficial for either of them? I don't think so.
I
Well-
don't think so. I really
Was it beneficial
I really,
for me?
Yeah. And
I
then
don't
mean,
think so.
it starts out with like
was
the
cringy.
man's Anton, is that his name?
Antoine and
Antoine,
Cynthia
my bad.
Mans.
Yeah, Antoine was like doing a prayer, you know, having a prayer sesh with her before they walked
That was
in.
weird.
And that was kind of weird. You know, he was like, "Don't let this devil get to you," or
He's
you
a
know,
devil. He lies. Or something
Right.
like that. And we're just
it
like,
was a
okay.
little interesting.
Yeah.
And then they sit down and Antoine the whole time is like, "Don't cuss," you know, that's
We're gonna respect
disrespectful.
God in this house. And Michael's
Right.
just trying to have a
And
conversation.
he's like, "Oh shit, I'm
Who's
sorry,"
Antoine?
you know.
Wait, who's Antoine again?
So Antoine and Cynthia Mans are the people who found
the Mans family. Got it.
who found Natalia in the second home and took
Got
her
it.
in.
Okay.
And so now they're
That's like
legal
her
guardians
family
at this point.
At this point.
Yes,
Got it.
at this point in time in the
Again,
documentary.
she's getting
I
passed
didn't know their
around.
first names. I just know them by the Mans family.
Yeah, so he brought her to the
Antoine?
house. Antoine.
And Cynthia.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so Antoine brought her to the house where they were doing the interview between Michael and Natalia.
Okay, got it.
And he just seemed to be really overbearing and kind of stepping into the conversation, not letting it go naturally.
I will say before knowing everything about the Mans, I did say like, yeah, he's being really reactive to everything, but maybe it's because he's scared for his daughter to be hurt.
Yeah.
You know, I could see where you would like, you'd want to protect her in that moment, and him, because it's obvious that Michael was not taking responsibility for anything.
Yeah, and that definitely would anger anyone.
Right.
I feel like.
And-
So that's valid, but to ruin the interview
And the way he
he's
did it. Yeah.
because of his communication style and
Exactly.
it doesn't adhere with
And we
the
all
rules
know
in his
that
home.
Michael's not mature enough to handle that. So
no. He flipped out.
Flipped out, gets in his car, and he's like, I'm leaving.
He goes, I tried. And he runs out and he gets in his sports car, mind you, and just
He would have
zips
flipped
off.
his hair if he had any.
Natalia's all crying. And so they have to
It's sad.
redo the interview a month later without Antoine in the picture.
And
Oh my
his
gosh.
awful lawyer. I hate his lawyer.
attorney is present the
Yeah.
entire
And yet
time.
he still comes, which is crazy to me. I guess he was
Yeah.
getting paid for it, maybe.
I would
I
think
guess.
so.
Because part of me was just
relive
like,
all
well, that was
that?
a hot mess. Let's just not do that again.
Yeah.
That
Right?
was what
Please
my
stay
thought
out.
would
That was a
be.
bad-
And
that
I
was a
feel
red
bad
flag.
because I feel like Natalia is like probably did it just to genuinely get more information, maybe, and more like
I think
questions
she really
answered.
wanted to know, like, why did you adopt me? You
Yeah,
know,
why'd you do this to me?
why
Yeah.
did you re-age me? Why did you, put me in an apartment when you knew that I was a child? She needed
Right.
some real answers.
And I
I
still
like-
feel like he gave roundabout answers.
He did. Do you remember when she asked her? She was like, whose decision, or what did the decision look like when you guys were deciding to drop me off at the apartment?"
Mhm.
And he was like, "Well, which one?"
Right.
And she
Part of
said,
me was
we'll
like, what
start
if,
with
like,
Westfield.
yeah,
Like what does
Any
it matter
of
which
them.
one? Any
Yeah.
of them? Come on, like
Exactly.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just kind of like, dude, was one better than the other?
And I
really?
truly
Like,
believe that he thought she was a child too.
I think so.
I
too.
truly
yeah,
believe
especially
that.
the way he was talking to her, even
Yeah.
during the interview,
Yeah.
he was talking to her like he would talk, like someone
That's
would
a
talk to
kid.
a younger child or a
person.
young adult.
Right.
Mhm.
But even,
She gave a side eye in the interview, and I thought it was hilarious.
oh yeah,
She has some sass
so
for sure.
awkward.
She was like
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
at, she was like looking off, like, okay,
Okay.
What
you're
is
being
this? When he
weird.
would go
Yeah.
on his
Tangent.
woe is me tangents, and she was just kind of sitting there.
Mhm.
like,
But they did have
Okay.
moments where it was like they were trauma bonding, like they
Yes.
would talk
Yeah.
about Christine and the
which
things
that's
that
what
she
he
did.
wanted.
And that was kind of hard to see them connect on that level
Right.
because it's like, remember, he still had a part in it.
Yeah,
But
remember
I
to still hold him
understand.
accountable.
Yeah.
At the time, you were the child and he was the adult. So even if he was
He's
going through trauma, it was for him
culpable.
to be a parent and to take care of you, and he didn't do that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he had the power to take action, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And he says that he didn't have the power, but
he did.
let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. And I think she also wanted to kind of talk to him and ask questions. Did you know Christine was doing this and this? Because there were certain things going on in the household, I think, that Michael wasn't aware of that Christine was doing
Right.
to her. Like, for starters, propositioning Natalia to other men.
Which is
Which,
wild.
what's the name of
Yeah.
that little,
Wild.
little
Wait.
celebrity? Freddie Gills? He's a,
Yes.
yeah,
He's
so
a little person and
country singer, I think.
Yeah, and he's a full-on grown-ass man. And she was like, you should go out with Natalia. And he's like, hell no. Thankfully, what if he was a creeper?
Right.
But
Oh my
he
gosh.
After
refused.
Christine was sexually
point
flaunting
at the
herself
she-
towards
yeah, she
him,
was trying
and
to
then
flirt with
tried to set
him.
up Natalia
She's just
with
got
him.
Christine's
When
got a
was
lot of
this?
problems.
Was this when before Natalia went off,
This was
they
like,
dropped her to the apartments?
I think so.
yeah, she was like
Oh my
7 or 8.
gosh.
Yeah.
Before they proved that she was
Re-aged
older.
her. Mhm, yeah.
It may have
That
been when
wasn't
she was
smart on her
re-aged. I
part.
can't remember.
It was like during
before or
that
after?
mess.
Yeah.
Like, I think while they were determining
hmm
her
That's
age.
still not
maybe.
smart
I
to
don't know.
do.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's
There's a
insane.
bunch of text
Whether
exchanges.
as much as
and-
you believe it as like, oh, she's so older, she's older.
That's
like,
the thing. Is
still
like people
don't
are like, well, we
proposition her
don't
off to, like,
really
old man.
know if they knew. Yes, we do because there's so many texts in
Yeah.
between that it was obvious. They knew what they were doing.
Oh yeah, but
So.
Michael had no idea that this was happening, so he seemed genuinely upset.
I
when
think
he
there were a
heard that.
couple of things that he didn't know about.
Yeah,
For sure.
He didn't know about the pepper spray. Christine had pepper sprayed Natalia in the eyes, and this is what it will feel like if you don't listen. And I think this was first moving into Westfield.
Yeah, this was like in the very beginning.
She
where
said, "Open your eyes." Pepper sprayed her eyes, and then wouldn't let her close them or go
Or
wash
clean
it
them,
out
yeah.
for 10 minutes.
And it's because she couldn't like
You can
read
get blind
something.
by that.
Oh no, she couldn't do a math problem.
Oh,
And
was
so-
it that?
Yeah.
I
mhm.
thought, okay.
Yeah, she
I
gave her like
couldn't
an
remember
insane
why.
math problem, and she couldn't figure it out. She didn't know what the hell was going on, and she pepper sprayed her.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
It's
Because
awful.
Natalia's an adult, she should be able to solve
No,
the
Well,
math
and she
problem.
wants a brilliant child,
Right.
you know,
You
at that
have
point.
full-on adult officers and people in the military that get pepper sprayed.
And they
for
say it's
training,
the
and
worst
they say
part
it's
of
the
it.
horrible thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so horrible.
yeah.
So
No,
why
I'm
would you
just
think it's
thinking-
okay?
In that situation, I can't even remember pre-algebra. Like,
No.
I don't think most people can do
Right.
just on the regular.
No, like,
that.
If you're
I
like,
get what you
here,
mean.
give me this equation, I'd be like,
I
oh,
mean,
fuck off. I don't
sure.
know.
Yeah, but she
Catch
barely
me on
made
an
it
off
through
day
second
and,
grade.
like 2 + 2.
Exactly.
Under pressure, it's like 4.
And I'm like,
Yeah, and they took her out of school. She didn't even go past second grade.
Yeah, which is so sad because
That
the
is
school
sad.
claims that they love Natalia
And she
they
was smart.
Yeah,
She was.
or
and
for her age,
it seemed like it because she was reading at 5, you know, like
Yeah.
she.
and how she communicated with people was more mature.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone thought she was a little bit older.
Yeah.
And I think, too, because of her dwarfism, maybe it was harder to gauge how old you are, you know,
Right.
so that had something to do with it. But yeah,
Mhm.
she was pretty mature and.
Yeah.
And the school
Smart.
claimed that Christine's behavior was actually kind of feisty, is how they
Right.
described it. And then they
Mm.
said it seems like the Barnetts were mean to Natalia.
Yeah.
And that was their experience
Aw.
before they pulled her out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's crazy because you wonder if, like, because they knew she had disabilities, it's just almost like they only wanted one version of her, and it's like, if you're gonna be handicapped, we need you to be like fully handicapped.
What do you mean?
So it's just kind of like, like, for instance, I can't remember that other story that we covered, but essentially, like, if you have a disability, they're expecting you to, like, even though, like, you may have a disability physically,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
that, like, oh, you should have a disability of your mind as well.
Yeah.
And
they
so it's
kind
just
of
like the
label
fact
you,
that
well, disabled, nothing else to
disabled,
offer.
and so it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, if you're performing well in school, then there must be nothing wrong with you, and you're faking it, and you
Right.
need to start walking correctly, and you need to da 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 da.
That's true.
So, like, I think like
Right.
that happens a lot of the time to like people,
people think
today,
there's
where
a
it's like you have invisible.
Cognitive what is the word? Wow.
Dissonance?
Yes. They think it goes along with what? You judging my sandwich?
Girl,
Yeah.
you be
Yeah, I
snacking
got
on all the
snacked.
episodes
That's
now.
right.
ramble. Next thing you know, it's like a full on Thanksgiving
don't-
dinner.
Why don't you bring any for us? Is my question.
You want a half?
No.
What
Oh,
is
sure.
that?
It's a
Oh, is
sandwich.
that a ham sandwich?
You gotta do like
Okay.
I've got-
popcorn or something.
I've got graham crackers if you're interested.
Oh, actually, no, I'll take some graham crackers.
Okay. All right.
Oh, there was another story that I don't know if Michael knew this, but Natalia was retelling it, and they were, believe me, she was an adult, and I think she was only 6 or 7,
Mhm.
and she had a baby tooth fall out,
Mm-hmm.
but they thought that she had adult teeth, and so Christine
Well,
accused
Christine
her
said
of,
you pulled it out.
yeah, why did you pull it out?
Mhm.
And Natalia said, no, it fell out. And they're just having
It's
this
called
argument.
baby teeth. Yeah.
And they took her to the dentist, and the dentist actually proved Natalia's real age, which was
Yeah.
6 or 7 at the time.
Yeah.
And can you
with
imagine
the dental records
being gaslit like that as a kid? You'd be
Right.
like, did I pull it out?
right?
You know what I
gosh.
mean?
You wouldn't know if you pulled out your teeth.
You
gotta
wouldn't
get
know.
You gotta get pliers to do that. Blood would be
No,
going
people do it
everywhere.
with a string in a door. Did you ever do that?
Mm-hmm.
with the tooth that's gonna fall out, but with
Yeah.
a regular adult tooth,
Yeah.
you gotta get some pliers on that sucker.
I don't know. I haven't been to the dentist in a minute. Some of these might just fall out.
We're gonna be like,
What?
Lizzie, why'd you pull your teeth out? You'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah, it just fell
That sounds
It just fell out. Yeah.
No
don't know.
way.
Oh my goodness.
Sometimes when you have tooth pain, though, it's like I'd rather it just come out.
Yeah.
Oh
Y'all ever experience that?
Actually, no.
no, I'm sorry, girl.
I'm
Alright.
sorry.
I'm all alone over here.
Another thing she pointed out was when Christine used to take all of her kids to the park, she'd
Mhm.
let her sons play, and she would cover Natalia in the kids' stroller with a blanket and then tell the other parents nearby that she was sleeping.
Why?
She didn't want her out
She
playing
didn't
with the
want
kids.
her, like, interacting with other people.
So she wasn't allowed to play with the kids at the park.
It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
But she's like 5 or 6 at that point, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
They have like big kids
That's weird.
strollers where you can like throw 3 or 4 in there.
And
you
she's
know?
also,
They
she has
do, but-
dwarfism, so
Yeah,
she's smaller.
that's true.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Put her in a baby stroller.
You're right.
Yeah.
I bet we better get out of that baby stroller and take a lap.
What?
Well,
did you just say?
a minute. There you nap.
I'm not gonna repeat what I said. Keep going.
Okay.
I don't want to get canceled.
Oh, wait. Now I want to know.
Yeah. Can anyone interpret that?
No.
Translate,
Keep
please.
going. No, we're good.
And then there was a clip of Michael saying Natalia admitted to lying about her period at the time and saying,
Well, because Christine told her to.
yeah, but how did you see that clip of like how Michael was explaining how Natalia hid it? Because Natalia said,
What
yeah,
part?
apparently
Uh-huh.
she said, yeah, I've been lying about having my period because I actually have it and I've been licking it and eating
Yes.
the
Oh, that was
blood
so
to cover
disturbing.
it up. And Natalia was listening to the clip and goes,
She's
that's
like,
disgusting.
That's disgusting. Yeah.
Also, some people just get their period at an earlier age, but she said, I didn't have my period.
didn't,
And Christine
yeah.
tried to make me shove a tampon up there.
And that's why I was
and-
bleeding.
like we talked about in the last
Yeah.
episode. Yeah. And then so there was blood.
And also,
because
like-
you forced a tampon up there.
Wait, take it back. Who was eating and licking what?
Michael said that
Michael.
she was licking her blood off of her leg and stuff and eating her
Eating her
period.
vagina
Now,
blood.
Michael.
yeah. Yeah. He did say that. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
And even Natalia's like, that's disgusting. That did not happen.
Mhm.
And also, let's not forget that they made her walk in bad conditions. Like, she didn't have her special shoes. She didn't have a
Mhm.
walker or anything. Her
Mhm.
feet would bleed because they hurt
Right.
so bad.
Mhm.
And so they talked about her hiding socks that were bloody,
Mhm.
probably from her feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not her period blood.
That's not her period blood.
Let's just get it straight. Like, once again, kids and kids, toddlers, they're not dumb. Like, have you ever seen those videos of how, like, the parents will play a prank on their kid and they'll,
Uh-huh.
like, ask for the kid to go get them toilet paper, and as they're grabbing it, they'll, like, have, like, the fake
poop on
pudding
it. Yeah.
the
Uh-huh.
chocolate pudding.
And they
like,
freak
the 3-year-old
out.
or 2-year-old or, like, the 4-year-old or whatever would
Yeah.
freak out. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're like, ew!
Yeah. They
So
know
it's
that's
just like,
gross.
Like, this
thinking of
better not
that,
be poop.
Like,
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know.
That's
I
so
think they're
extra.
once again. I think that they're like, oh, she's disabled, so she's also dumb,
And
so
crazy.
therefore we can
Yeah.
like just make up these crazy lies about it. But like,
I think
she's
you're right.
coherently been like, nope, I would never.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah,
She
like
was,
what? Who? Like
she
you
was
wouldn't even
smart.
catch a child doing that unless perhaps that there was more.
There's
like,
some big mental illness.
disabilities going on there or
Right.
whatever, which she did not have.
Yeah.
So that just is wild to me. That's so disgusting
They're
for
just
him to
trying to
say
create
that and
their
then
own
try to get away
narrative.
with that.
I
Yeah.
know.
And any therapist or psychologist or whatever out there at that time that didn't catch on to that, that's like, come
Yeah.
on.
It's so
Come on
true
now.
though.
That's wild to me.
Yeah. There's
Michael,
can't get over it.
I
Oh,
can't
Michael.
because I feel like he just like was saying stuff and just
Oh,
getting
yeah.
away with
Well, he's
it.
just trying to make her look bad, like make her look psychotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they kind of go over the story of Natalia's attempt to poison Christine with the
Mhm.
pledge.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
well, first somebody states it as bleach, somebody else states it as pledge. A neighbor was talking about how it was like an antibacterial spray. So I'm like,
Mhm.
which one
Mhm.
was it?
Right.
But Natalia retold the story and said, yeah, Christine made me do it because she left the kitchen while I was cleaning
And she
the
like
counter.
filmed it while she
But then-
like said to put my hand there.
Yeah,
and
because
pour
she
it.
comes back and she tasted the coffee and goes, did you put, the cleaning product in there? And
Mhm.
Natalia said no.
No.
And then she said, well, do it. And filmed and made Natalia
spraying
actually
it.
spray
Yeah.
into it. Yeah.
It's just
So
yeah.
she
When
was-
you hear the whole story, you're like, huh.
And then
Yeah.
they
This
were
looks way
telling
different.
Yeah, and they were telling their neighbors, all of the neighbors about it. And then the neighbors apparently came over and said, you should search her room, like very shortly after this happened.
Mm.
So they were all like searching her room, and then under the bed
And
they
then we found knives.
rubbing alcohol with
Yeah.
like those matches.
Oh
the
yeah,
long
like
matches.
she was gonna burn them all
Yeah,
down.
yeah. And then the neighbor said, "Oh yeah, Natalia said that she wanted to burn that whole house down and kill everyone, and it could happen to you too." And I was,
Right.
who are these people?
Yeah, and then Christine goes to the neighbors because she was like friends with Grace.
Rachel is the mother of Grace, I think.
Okay,
Yeah, so
and
Rachel and Grace,
she's in it, and at some point Natalia goes over there and she's like, "Why didn't you ask me? Like, why didn't you question this?"
Yeah.
You know, which
At the same time, though, I don't blame the neighbor for
I don't either.
distancing herself.
Yeah.
Like, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
I'm going to protect my own child from the information
Right.
I'm receiving at the
Right, right.
time. But she did
I totally
admit-
agree with that. Yeah.
she did admit being scared of Christine.
Mm-hmm.
And I would want to distance myself from that, too. So I can't
Yeah.
necessarily blame her
It is
for
just
not
sad,
looking
though.
into Natalia's...
Yeah, I'm with you
Environment
there
more.
because you gotta protect your own family first.
Yeah.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like no one even questioned like what's
No.
going on with
Yeah.
her. You know, maybe she needs some help. We need
I
to
mean,
get
we
some
all-
resources.
We've
in
all
here.
Yeah.
experienced a neighbor that like, well, I shouldn't say all, but like most people can have maybe a story of a neighbor that like they do unhinged things.
Mhm.
And it only makes you wonder like how are they around their family and like around their kids and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I
You
mean-
look at me like that.
Yeah, because it looked like you went into like some
like,
sort of
yeah.
like yeah.
Yeah, I get that. But it's also like if you do this out in public, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, for
Indoors,
sure.
yeah.
We so back in the day,
Mm.
me and my family, we live out in the boonies and stuff like that, and so we had a neighbor across the street, across the dirt road, and he was crazy.
Mm.
He did some
What
crazy
else he do?
stuff,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Get
like
into it.
he attempted to like shoot our dogs. He
That
yeah.
is crazy.
No, he did
Yeah,
not.
it is crazy.
Gosh, you were
Yeah.
joking.
Fuck that guy.
Attempted to.
Wow.
Absolutely not.
Threatened to would say racial slurs here and there often. And on the flip side, he would always try to like not always try, but like every once in a while try to convince like get me and Iris or Abram to come over to like his house to like play
Ew.
video games or something with his kids.
Whoa.
And he's
But
a
we
grown
never-
ass man.
Yeah, but we never were like he had
Weird.
kids too.
Okay.
But like we never
I'm still
talked to his
sus.
kids and never hung out with his kids ever. So like we would always be
Ooh.
like, no, we're good. We would. I think we
question
went
the
over there
motive
once.
there.
We went over there once, but it was just like the weirdest thing ever
Mhm.
because it was almost like invited us over, but when we went over there, we didn't really do anything really.
Yeah.
So we just ended up turning around and going
That's
back
better
after like 30
than
minutes.
what it could be.
And so like I think it was like me, Iris, and Abram. Anyways, overall, like he was just like annoying and a nuisance. I think he would probably like beat our mailbox in sometimes and just like
Wow.
do like crazy stuff as a neighbor. And then at
Wow.
one time he like propositioned our mom like a
Ew.
long time ago. Yeah,
Gross.
he passed away a long time ago now. And I remember when I was in high school, like he ended up having a daughter that I was like, yo, he had a daughter? I was like, shoot, I didn't know that. Or maybe from a different marriage or something like that. The crazy thing is my mom said that like his wife was so sweet. And before she passed away, they were cool.
She'd have
But
to be
then
to deal
when
with
the
him.
wife passed away, it sounded like that's when he kind of went off like the deep end.
Mm.
But then like
Is he like
think-
schizophrenic?
he could have been. He
Mm.
could have been.
Mm.
And so, like, I remember when I was in high school in senior year, and the girl, for whatever reason, at the last minute, she started to, like, live with the dad over across the way, and she would come down to the mailbox, and she was so nice. But I always would wonder, like,
What's going
what
on
going
in there?
on over there? Because he was
You never
such a
know.
weird and, like, angry-filled person
Yeah, that
that
scares
I
me.
couldn't imagine that that household was anywhere near peaceful or, like,
Probably
No,
not a
probably
safe.
not.
yeah,
environment
not
Right,
at all.
for
walking on
children.
eggshells.
But I never wanted to be like poke the bear with her. I just
Right.
like left her at peace. But
Yeah.
it's just like it's your own neighbor sometimes.
Well,
that,
it's
like,
hard because it's like, how much should I get involved? You know, is this gonna hurt me and my family?
Mhm.
But
Right.
also, like, you know, maybe you accuse someone of something and it's not true. You know,
Right.
there's a balance there.
Yeah, we had to have like a family friend. I think now this could be crazy. This could be crazy because I might not have the story right, but I
You
think
crazy?
for sure that like we had a family friend go up the road and threaten them with a gun and be like,
Mm.
if you touch this family, then you're gonna see.
Hey, you know
Wasn't
what?
once.
And maybe the adults saw him with a different motive.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, you know, because it's hard to tell when you're a kid. I remember this one guy kept coming, you know, to our backyard, and he had a dog, and we had a dog, and we would talk about the dogs. Well, one time he came up to the fence. Like, we would have a trampoline and we'd be jumping or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He came up to the fence and he's like, I lost my dog. Can you help me find him? And the neighbor,
Textbook.
yeah, one of our neighbors, he's an ex-cop, and he's like, I will get my gun out if you ever do that again, you know?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I didn't see anything wrong with it because I was
Mhm.
young, you
You're
know,
like, yeah,
I
of
didn't know.
course.
But now looking
I'll
back, I'm like, the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
predator, you know?
Yeah, you don't see it
Wow.
You
when
don't
you're a
think
kid.
about
You
it.
really don't, because I remember like it was weird, but like he was a weird neighbor and everything. But like I didn't really like. You don't know how to label the weirdness. when you're a
Right.
Yeah.
You
kid.
can feel it,
You
but
can
you
feel
don't
it, but
know what's
whether
happening.
it's compartmentalize and
Yes.
label it or whatever. But I didn't know that like my dad's brother, he came out and he had a few words with him, and then my dad's
Yeah.
best friend, he had a few words with him.
It makes me
But we
think
never
that they
got
could
bothered.
see something else going on, too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It was just weird too, because it's just like on a random Tuesday, he would just like drive up on our lawn, or on our like, yeah,
So it was just unexpected.
yeah. He just pretty
Jeez.
much like did whatever he wanted to do. But you know, when you live out in the country too, like you know, you gotta watch your
Live out in that
surroundings, because
country.
people be feeling like they can just do whatever,
Do whatever
they want to
they
do.
want.
Yeah,
Right.
because
Yeah,
the
you're
police
not
is like
wrong.
nowhere to be found.
Like, law doesn't apply to them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah,
Like, I also grew up in the boonies, so we had some weird neighbors. One
yeah.
would blow a horn every morning for no reason.
Why?
And then he,
Like a
That's
car
got to
horn?
go.
no, it was like one of those like ram horn kind of
Okay.
things. And he was,
Really?
yeah, and he was,
That's so annoying.
he was a single, like probably late 30s piano teacher. So he did teach us a few piano classes. I know he'd do yard work from my
Hmm.
dad sometimes,
Hmm.
but like he was our next door neighbor. And
Was he a
So-
kid toucher, too?
what?
The way you phrased that.
That's what we're talking about,
well,
basically.
No, he was just really weird because, like, I feel like we were all messing around with him outside or whatever. Like, I think we were just hiding in the bushes or whatever and being dumb kids
Yeah.
while he was doing some yard work. And he got mad. I don't remember exactly what about. And then he basically threatens. There's this story in the Bible apparently about a bear eating all of the
Mhm.
children for.
Mhm.
I don't remember
A
what the
bear
story
Yeah.
is.
eating children?
But he basically threatened that he was going to call a bear on us. Like,
Yeah.
we were gonna get
That's not
eaten for
cute.
being
That's
mean to him.
horrible.
Yeah.
Weird.
So we didn't really see him much after that.
I would. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't
What is
either,
the
avoid
story
honestly.
though? What is the story? Can you tell me?
I can't remember the story of the time, but yeah, it's like the bear that eats all the children or something like that.
Because they were wicked or
All the
something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Weird.
that was cool.
Yeah, he used
That's
that
my-
out of context.
that's my
though.
weird
like,
neighbor
that's
story.
The best
You
I
got
can say.
Jeffrey Dahmer over there.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Piano teacher Jeffrey Dahmer.
Right. All I can say is like going back to like Natalia's story. It's just
Somehow get back there.
well. So you said like you don't blame the neighbor.
No.
And it's just like, yeah, you really can't because like I said, like things be going over in
Yeah.
the household,
You
and
also have
sometimes
to
you just want to
protect
distance
yourself.
yourself.
You
Yeah.
do, and at
Yeah,
least
you're right.
some of the neighbors had the grace to call CPS. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why this case
Right.
kept getting reopened because concerned people kept calling in.
Right.
Said,
Mhm.
hey,
And that's the right thing to do. Like, even if you want to do it without identifying yourself,
yeah, at
you
least
know,
it's something.
do something.
Yeah, so there were at least they could go that far, but
Mhm.
I can't completely blame Rachel. But I mean, it was kind of her to meet up with Natalia and have that face to face and
And
apologize.
she said she was really sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she seemed
And
like a
it
good person.
felt genuine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
Mhm.
It did. There's another story about Christine having Natalia on psychotic meds.
Yes.
Psychiatric meds, sorry.
Yes.
Psychotic meds. Because of her claimed diagnosis as a sociopath,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't know what medication.
Yeah, what would you put someone on?
And
I don't
how
even
did
know.
you get those
An
prescriptions?
antipsychotic?
Yeah.
Well, and also, too, at this point, she's legally an adult. So they're giving her adult medication.
Yeah.
And also, you know, like what is the word? The dosage is
Mhm,
higher.
is
you
higher.
know,
And it was
yeah.
making her really sleepy while she was staying at one of the apartments.
Mhm.
I think it was in
The
Westfield.
first one.
And Christine one day, Natalia was taking these consistently on her own,
Mhm.
but Christine came over one day and said, "Why are you still sleeping?" And Natalia
Right, which
goes,
first off,
"I'm
she's
just
a
sleepy."
kid.
Yeah.
You know, what else is she going to do all
Right,
day?
right. And then
Mhm.
Christine goes, "Have you taken your meds yet?" And Natalia says, "Yes." And she said, "I don't believe you." And
Take it
so
again. And she
had
gives her some.
She gives her some and turns around while Natalia takes it, turns back around and says, "Did you take your medication?"
Pretend not to see it.
Yeah,
Mm.
Natalia says, "Yes, I did." Christine goes, I don't believe you, and gives her another dose. So she had a total of 3 in one day. And Natalia says that she kind of blacked out. Things
She
were
went to
really
the
fuzzy.
bathroom and then
Yeah,
like
fell
blacked out,
over.
fell over, and like
Woke up at 2 in the morning. She's
Uh-huh.
lucky to be alive.
she
But
really is.
yeah,
That's
Christine tried to
crazy.
freaking kill her.
Because she wanted to.
And she's saying,
That's
you know,
what it's
they're
come down
accusing
to.
Natalia of trying to kill them, but really it was the other way around.
Oh, for sure.
Because it would be easier for them, because now she's a dependent. You know, it'd be easier for the Barnetts to get rid of her.
Well,
Yeah.
honestly, though, too, like, they claim that Natalia tried to kill them and stuff like that. Like, you know, having the knife over the head. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, well, okay, like, if that was the case, then why didn't she do it? Why didn't she do it?
Because you were trying to kill her.
Well,
That's why
not-
she was doing it.
Well,
Well,
yeah, like
well,
why do
well,
you
no,
have a
what I-
need to have a knife in your room? Something's going on.
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
saying that, like, why didn't she just finish? Why didn't she do it then? Like, if
Oh, if she was
that's
gonna
what I'm
do it?
saying.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I think, like,
I don't think she was capable. She was actually capable
No.
of doing it.
I don't think
I
so
think-
either. But in their eyes, if they thought she was going to kill them so much, then why didn't she just go ahead and do it then?
It's
why
because
would
it's
she really have
lies.
stopped to
Yeah.
do
That's
it?
why.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
not real.
But there's even there's footage of Natalia trying to grab the knife,
Yeah.
and she can't even because of
Like
how her
because
hands are
of
built,
her hands, she can barely
she
even
can't
hold
even
it.
grab it.
Mm.
But Michael, during their one-on-one interview, he
Mhm.
does state like, "No, I remember you standing over the bed.
Oh
with
yeah,
a knife." And
he falls on
seems
that
very-
sword too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. And Natalia doesn't remember that at all. She said that
Mhm.
didn't happen.
And
but-
he's like, "No, it did. I saw you."
Mm-hmm.
So
He's very
Mm.
matter of fact about it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because he seems truthful in that moment almost with
Yeah.
how serious he is about it. But then Natalia
he lies so much; it's hard to say.
It is
Yeah.
so hard.
Yeah.
Those crocodile tears.
Then
be
it's like, even if she did,
flowing.
maybe she was just still trying to protect herself because she didn't feel safe.
That's true.
So-
Maybe
Right.
just lost the memory.
Like,
We
I'll
don't
kill
know.
you before you kill me.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and then, you know, she moves out and the same thing kind of happens. Like the neighbors are worried. They don't know what's going on. But, you know, come to find out she's actually a child and
Right.
she didn't know any better.
Right.
Really. So that's the situation. She's in the first apartment, but then she gets like not kicked out, but they don't re-up her lease.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes to the next place and, you know, I feel like the next place is really a death trap for her.
Yeah.
Having
and it's
her to
intentional.
go up,
Setup.
yeah, having her to go up those stairs. It was
Yeah.
a bad neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, all this stuff. Eventually, her electricity goes out.
Yeah,
you know, and
for a week.
Yeah, for a week. She
Mhm.
said it was super hot.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't afford groceries. There was all kinds of issues.
She didn't know how to get groceries.
She said at one point,
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the same place. She said something about like her food rotting and she couldn't even like go
because the
to-
electricity was out. So
Yeah.
the fridge
Right,
was
so the
out.
fridge wasn't working.
I would've
Right.
been
She didn't have
eating rotten
money.
food.
Can you
And-
imagine being 8 years old and having to deal with this stuff?
Oh, no, I
It's
can't.
overwhelming, and she was supposed to go to a GED center at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
And they at some point said that she smelled bad, but it's like she couldn't even reach the tub.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm. Yeah.
She didn't know, they didn't give her the tools to teach her like this is how you take care of yourself.
Well, even
Right.
if they did give her the tools, like even at that young
It's
age,
still
just
cruel.
stuff you can't do
Yeah.
Yeah.
at such a young age.
Especially
like,
at the second home, it was a second story, or you had to go
Yes,
up
you had to go upstairs. Yeah,
it was
and
a
she can
second
barely
story.
walk as it is.
right.
But Cynthia took her back to that original home, and there were gunshots
Yes.
while
Yeah.
it was being
Mhm.
filmed.
Yeah.
They're sitting there like
There was 2
reliving it.
gunshots and they're like, "Okay, let's go."
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's where she meets the man's family at
Mhm.
that location. They see her struggling, you know, walking around and they're like, "This is not right. You know,
Yeah.
someone needs to be taking care of her."
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they
And-
took her in.
And they take her in.
Yes, and they reissue her social security checks to their address
Mhm.
and
Which
everything.
it does make you wonder, you know, was this strategic to, you know,
use her for her money.
use her for her
Mhm.
money,
But also,
basically.
if she's being taken care of, it's kind of a maybe
It's a give and
win-win
take.
situation.
Yeah.
It's a better, a little bit
It's a better
better
situation
as
than
of
her having to deal with
by
it by
herself.
herself.
Yeah. And at this point in the documentary, like while she's interviewing with Michael and stuff, they're very supportive of her. They went to a Dr.
Mhm.
Phil episode with her. and
Right.
So they're very much supporting Natalia's case
Mhm.
and fighting for her. However, at the end of season 2, you hear Antoine, and we already know he's a character from how he acted out
Right.
on Michael.
Yeah.
But he
He's
calls
not
the
calm.
producers and goes, "Hey,
me.
Natalia's no longer a part of our home," and basically,
Just so you know, like, we're done with her.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're so done with her. And so the producers fly out to be to see what's going on.
And they were going to end it at season 2, but then they were like, wait, we need to know what's going on because it seemed like this was the perfect situation for her. It was the perfect family.
Yeah.
But come to find out, not so much. So then we begin like chapter 3.
Yeah,
if you
so
will.
this is season
This is
3.
what I want to know. What's going on in season 3? What happened?
So you arrive
man
on the
happened.
scene. Yes.
That's what happened.
And Antoine and Cynthia freak out because she develops an online relationship with a man in London. And so they're just talking or whatever.
London.
I mean, she's at the age now.
Okay.
What's
In
his name
real
again?
life. I don't remember. Jack?
No.
No?
No.
Jack.
Can you Google it?
Yeah. Let me really quick.
It's not.
Natalia's boyfriend's name is.
I was literally thinking that in my head.
That's weird.
Whoa.
We had a telepathic moment.
Yeah. I was like, oh, man, like Jeopardy. And then I started seeking it. And then I was like, should I seek it out loud? I'm like,
Natalia
nah. And then you started seeking it. I was like,
Grace's
whoa.
I felt the energy.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Come on.
Does it say?
Work with me.
Yeah, Google.
It froze.
Sing to me.
Oh.
Sing.
And I got
And it is
Neil.
Neil.
I
Not
wouldn't
even
guess
close to
that.
Jack.
Yeah, Neil.
I don't know where I got Jack.
I don't
I
know.
think Jack. But anyway,
What's
she
that thing?
develops
Give it to me,
an
Neil.
online relationship with Neil.
Okay.
Antoine and Cynthia find out about it. And
Freak the fuck out.
yeah,
Yeah.
Why?
that's the question.
Because, in my opinion,
Okay.
this is only my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Her
They
professional
don't
opinion.
want her, right?
To
Because
be
clearly I'm
independent.
certified. They don't want her to move out because that means the check's no longer coming to them.
Oof.
So they are trying to keep her forever.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
And so the thought of her getting a boyfriend, they're like, oh, there goes my check.
I mean, it's just a boyfriend.
It's online too.
Yeah,
Like, he
but
lives all the way across the
Yeah.
sea.
She also like is talking about wanting to go see him.
Yeah.
And I think that they're just
Okay. Like,
overreacting because they think, oh man, she's going to go over there. She's going to stay. We're never going to see this check again.
yeah,
Yeah.
or she like requesting to like have some funds to like drive or not drive to fly
Well,
over
I'm
there,
sure.
and they're like, oh, we
Sure.
don't want to like fund that.
Exactly. Yeah. So you kind of start to see
They're
more
relying
of their
on her
toxic
money.
nature as they're trying to control the situation, and they really use religion to tamper her
Yeah.
down.
They blame
Aw.
like the devil,
Mhm.
you know?
Okay.
Yeah, and they
Okay.
remove all of her electronics and.
Oh no.
Like she's
Yeah.
a child, and at this point, she's not.
At this point, she's basically, I think she's 18.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she has the
Or she's
right
20.
to do that.
Yeah.
I thought she was 18, but legally she's like, what?
I can't
her
remember. She's an
30s.
adult.
Yeah.
Nevertheless.
Young adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can make
She
those
can
Doing
do
decisions
young adult
now.
things.
Yeah.
She can
Yeah.
do what she wants. And
She's
yeah,
allowed to have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the season kind of talks about how Antoine, he's like the pastor of this specific church. I don't remember the denomination, but you have some
Wild.
participants at the church go,
denomination.
he is quite the personality. He's an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
He yells. He like his behavior is just really aggressive, and you kind of already see that from the previous season,
Right.
But it really just
He
kind of
has
comes out of the
anger
woodworks.
issues, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and then like she's not the only child that they've adopted that
Yeah.
has disabilities. They've adopted a bunch others, and it
Mhm.
makes you wonder like, are they collecting these children to have checks?
Right.
You know, because they
Right.
said it would make over $100,000 just their checks together.
And weirdly
Dang.
enough, some adults go to their house and stay with them too.
Why?
They're like going through
Yeah.
a breakup, or maybe one's a drug addict and recovering.
It's
So
like-
he dropped his kid off because he was going to rehab and stuff. So
And there was that one lady that was like saying, "Oh no, the Mans are great people," and they go, "Well, didn't you give away your child to them?" And she just starts crying. She's like, "I don't want to talk about it."
yeah,
It's obvious that she's having to like defend them because
her child is there.
her child is there. So it just seems like they're pretty manipulative.
Yeah, and they take advantage
They
of
take
people's
advantage.
misfortune.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's not good.
so that
Mm-mm.
narrative really starts to come into play.
It's not as sweet anymore.
No, you kind of start to see their selfish
True
motives.
colors. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
and
unfortunate.
you see how Natalia is kind of struggling between, do I, submit to
Mm-hmm.
their indoctrination
Mhm.
and abuse actually as well. There are some accounts
Yeah.
from the other adults that were staying at the man's home.
That they've been hit.
That they've been beat with a belt, hit.
That's so unfortunate. And once again, like I said, like someone that is a part of like, I'm a part of it being like a believer in God and like a Christian and everything like that. Like just to have a representation of somebody that once again is taking the role of what a true Christian should be,
Right.
and they're just not following
That's not
through
what
with
God
that. And you would
wanted,
think
yeah.
that no, it isn't, and it's very confusing for people because it's like you're supposed to be a light that shines in a dark place, and instead
Yeah.
of you doing it, you're adding to
You're
the
not
darkness.
really making me want to, come over to this side.
And it's
Yeah.
also like use of the pastor, and it's just like, dang, like
Yeah,
come on.
if you you can't inspire people or, at least like I don't
It's
know,
like
be
you
a
have the
good
right
person.
opportunity.
Why am I going to follow you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's you. Well, and I mean, granted, like not to go in the weeds, like you shouldn't be following your pastor, your church leader. You should be following God. But I think a lot of
Sure.
people get caught up in it because that person
Well,
is a physical
I just
thing
meant
to
like
look at.
you don't want to listen to their word or what they have to say because maybe you're
Yeah.
not really living a Christian lifestyle,
No.
So why am I going to listen to what you have to say?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very confusing and what's it called? Hypocritical.
Very.
Yeah.
Very
He
hypocritical.
he appointed himself as bishop.
Yes,
He had
you remember that?
He
Yeah.
appointed himself.
He appointed himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
How
I,
did he do
I
that?
feel like you can do that.
He's like, you can call me Bishop.
Bishop.
That's the Bush. The
Yeah, that would be
Butch
really
version.
interesting to see
The
how that
Butch
actually
version.
happened.
Yeah. What'd you say?
But I also feel like from what you were saying, like the people sounded like you said the people were terrified of him or scared of him or something.
I mean,
It
yeah,
seems
he was
like
kind of
it.
unstable.
It seems like they were very intimidating.
And the congregation was aware of his
the sad part,
sins.
I feel like
okay, just sitting back. Okay.
the sad part with Natalia, I feel like, is that she still wants to please them.
She does.
She
To
wants.
this day,
Yeah.
or at this just point in time.
But
in
at
the
this
story?
point in time, she still like wants to give them her money. She wants to make sure that they're
Yeah,
okay.
okay, yeah.
She feels like she owes them.
Question:
for taking her in.
How much money is this check? Do we know?
We don't
Ballpark
know.
it?
I don't
know.
think
they
it's
ever say.
anything super substantial.
They can be.
I think it's decent, but with all the
Especially-
surgeries she needs,
That's true. It could be
Fair,
more.
probably not a whole lot.
And they're not
in the long
they're
run.
not giving her the surgeries that she needs
That's
either.
another thing is
Yeah.
that there are all kinds of surgeries that she requires, and we don't know as much as like someone else that suffers with this specific type of dwarfism. But when the DePauls come on scene,
Mhm.
she's got the same. The wife has the same dwarfism,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, there's so many surgeries that she should have had before this age. You know,
Mhm.
like at this point, that's the reason
Right.
she can't stand up, because she can't stand up all the way. She's
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
walker and she's
Mhm.
hunched over.
Mm-hmm.
She needs spine surgery. She needs feet surgery. She needs, all
Yeah.
kinds of
Yeah.
stuff that they're not addressing. And they once again start saying, well, God's going to heal her.
Yeah. Yep.
They start playing that.
that card.
Yeah.
I
So
hate.
they don't have to spend the money.
Right.
And they can use it for themselves to get a new home. Because
There
they
are selfish
move
motives. Yeah, they move.
to Tennessee. I think they moved to Tennessee, and with Natalia's money,
And they spend
buy
like
a
$300,000.
$300,000 mobile home or something.
Right.
It
Wait.
looked that
It's
great from the
classy.
photo.
Wait.
Yeah, okay. I guess
A
it's a step up.
$300,000 mobile home.
I swear it was like $300,000.
It was 300,000. I
Yeah.
remember that.
That's
I
the
don't
first number
remember
that
if
came
it
to
was a
mind.
mobile home or
It
not.
looked small though.
It didn't look great.
It didn't look
Yeah.
great.
Now, I'm not knocking mobile homes because at least mobile homes or modular homes nowadays, they be really like they've upgraded
We've got
them.
some nice ones. Yeah.
But my family, we grew up in a mobile home,
Mhm.
aka a trailer. Because
Right.
honestly, that's what it was back then.
Yeah.
Low-key. But I'm not spending $300,000.
No,
on a
that
mobile
seems
home.
excessive, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
$300,000, you can easily get a nice house.
Unless
I
you're
don't
like
know
actually
what we're
wanting
doing.
to move it, and travel or something like that.
That's true.
Maybe they don't
Really.
give me the type of family that are trying to actually move. and be
No.
mobile.
I don't
Nobody
really remember.
uses a mobile home and be moving it around like that.
Not
Not
really.
really.
No.
No,
really.
not that I'm aware of.
Let's,
but
let's be real.
I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, they use her money and
Mm-hmm.
this money that she could be getting the surgeries that she needs. And
Mhm.
I don't think Natalia really understands that and or really believes that they're
Mm-hmm.
taking advantage of her until
And she's kind of opposed to the surgeries too. She's hesitant about
right. And
taking them
that's
at this
also
point.
because
Now,
the man's
yeah.
the man's family told her, you could die during surgery, which is
Right.
true. but also
could die in a knee
she's
surgery.
healthy. Yeah, you could die driving, you know. That's also true, and we do it every day.
That's true.
So, you know, if you're healthy and you're young and you need a knee surgery, you're most likely not going to pass away from it.
No.
So they just start implanting all these fears.
They're fear-mongering her.
Yeah,
You know, like, because it's protecting them, the money that comes in, and they can apply it to other things.
Right.
Yeah. It's for
And
selfish
instead of them
motives.
saying, like, oh, God's going to heal you, God can heal all things, but at the same time, it's just also, like, you have to also make smart moves about how you're using your resources.
Also gives
you
us
can't
choice,
just,
right?
He gives you choice. It's just like, I don't know. I think like that's just like a very textbook thing for people to throw at people without actually really helping them.
Yeah,
Right.
it's wild too because they officially adopted her. Like, she is Natalia Mann's now.
Yeah, she
So
changes
it's
her
their
last name.
financial responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, they're not just her legal guardians. They're
I mean,
her
it
parents
was the
now.
Burnett's
Right.
financial responsibility.
And they
Yeah,
didn't
We
do
saw how that.
jack
Yeah, we saw
either.
that. That
Yeah.
went down in
But it's
flames.
just so sad that she keeps getting used and let
Yeah.
down at
Yeah.
every turn.
At this point, she contacts the
The
DePaul's
DePauls.
family, who were a previous Little People potential adoptive parents, and it
I
fell
mean, they're
through.
still little people, but they were
Yeah,
previous
that's what
adoptees.
yes, previous
Misplaced
adoptees.
modifier.
They seem to be wanting to be little people, but we don't know. We don't know
really
what
know.
happened.
Yeah. No, but it's like good for Natalia because, like I said, she has the wife. What is her name? I can't remember. She has the specific type of dwarfism as Natalia, so she can relate. And
Yeah, the
Yes.
relatability is there for that.
It's
Yeah.
a dysplasia. There's another word before it. I don't.
it's like devastating dysplasia or something. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's something complicated, but yeah, she
I need to Google
with
it.
that experience, she knows how Natalia needs to be taken care of.
Right.
So they
and
get
she knows that she's not being taken care
yes.
of right
So they get in touch,
Mhm.
Mrs. DePaul and
now.
Natalia.
I want to say her boyfriend gets in touch with her, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
her
because-
boyfriend's very concerned for
Natalia, not Natalia's little London boyfriend coming through.
her. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think you need to reach these people, see what they got to say.
See, this is why I've told you in the past that you cannot end up
What?
with an English boyfriend
Because you
Because
start
you're gonna
to
make-
speak
you're
like
gonna
that.
make
I'd be
fun-
offended. I would be offensive.
Yes.
Not if I
I've
did it
sent
the
you a
right
video
way.
too, and you're like, no, I would love to be with an English lad, and I'm like,
But then
no.
watch her start to speak like him. You
I
know?
so would.
Yeah, in
just
this
rub
podcast,
off on
we're gonna
her.
be like, Cherish.
I'd be
all of a
like,
sudden she's
Bring it
British.
I'd be like, Bex, have you ever been to Europe? You wouldn't really know how that goes over there over in the pool across the pond.
You know, it would be hilarious because I've been to London more than you.
I know.
That's true.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Oh my god.
Have you ever been to Amsterdam?
Amsterdam.
I have. you would hate me.
That's
Yeah,
so funny.
probably.
I'll remember that if I ever get an English boyfriend.
But anyway, like Natalia's on lockdown, but she's still like messaging Neil through like it's not like WhatsApp, but it's something like that.
Skype?
I don't
What?
know.
AOL.
But remember,
Wow, you know them all, don't you?
she's
who
doing
are you
it
talking
in
to?
some sneaky way where
Yes.
the mans can't see it, right?
Yeah.
So whatever this way is, this app, she contacts Neil. Neil contacts the DePauls and says, you need to help her.
Yep.
She wants to now run away
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
at
snap.
this point.
Yeah.
So they're trying to set up, like the DePauls say, okay, we'll take her in. They're trying to set up her escape.
I feel like
from
the producers
mans.
are kind of in on it too. Like it
Oh, yeah,
feels like
totally.
you're
Has to have
you're a
been.
part of the drama.
It's this all drama, excitement.
Yeah.
And she obviously doesn't tell the mans what's happening.
Mhm.
They decide to meet at church.
It's still dark out.
It's still dark
There,
out.
it's like a
super,
5 a.m.
super early in the morning.
church get together. Who does that?
That's how they be
I mean-
doing it. Wait, what?
It was like 7
She
in the morning.
escapes at 5? Or the sermon's at
The
5 a.m.?
sermon's at like 5 or 6 a.m. in the
Yeah.
morning.
Oh,
And the
really?
sun isn't
It's
even
early.
up.
Yeah, it's dark out.
Yeah.
That is
But
early.
they fly there. They camp out. It's her and her daughter.
Yeah, because the DePauls live in New York,
the
by the way.
DePauls live in New York.
So they had to fly out. Yeah.
They had to fly out and
From Tennessee.
which was
To
definitely
Tennessee.
to Tennessee. Yeah,
Mhm.
it
Oh,
was
okay.
definitely a big deal because it's harder for the mom. I'm gonna say Mrs. DePaul because I really don't remember her name. It's harder for her to travel with her condition. You know, she's got different struggles.
Yeah, it takes a lot of effort, and they need a driver.
They
and
need a
everything like that. So
driver.
it took a
Yeah,
lot
she
of
can't
money.
drive. That's
Mhm.
right. So it was a big effort to come and get her.
Mm-hmm.
And They do. They're successful. Apparently, she was late, so it made him nervous. You know,
They were
there's this
sitting
whole-
out in the dark, and I think somebody came up to them even, and
Yeah, they were
was
like, "Are you
"Hey."
waiting on someone, or what's
Yeah.
going on?"
Mhm.
But she runs out to them at some point, jumps
Yes.
in, they start driving off.
Mm-hmm. And she's freaking out. I feel like she immediately feels bad for doing it.
Yeah, because she's like, oh man, like I'm kind
Yeah.
of like leaving without.
Yeah.
Because she gets in touch with him very shortly afterwards.
Oh,
I
like
think
right
something in the
after,
car.
and
yeah,
Cynthia is calling her frantically, and Mrs. DePaul's like, "I don't understand. You wanted to run away from them. Like,
Mhm.
why are you still talking to him?" I don't think she realized, like,
How
when you're
ingrained-
in an abusive situation, it's
Mhm.
really hard to disconnect from that.
Yeah.
because you've been influenced for so long.
Exactly.
Right.
You've been in it, and I don't think she realized how deep she was in
Yeah.
that kind of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she does she end up answering the phone, or she does text
Yeah,
them?
and yes, and Mrs. DePaul, there's quite a few phone calls between the DePauls and the Manses as well, and them yelling at each other, "Give me back my daughter!" And
right,
all
they're not
this,
happy.
And, yeah, and
Mans.
then they're asking for money to help pay for the surgery. You have Natalia's social security checks, and they're like, "We're not paying
And
anything." And-
Natalia says that they can keep it.
yeah, Natalia's not even
Mm.
advocating for
no.
herself,
And Mrs. DePaul's like, excuse me, you're living at my house for
it's like,
free.
shouldn't it?
You know,
So she starts to get a little resentful. I
Very
feel
much
like.
so,
Yeah,
yeah.
which is valid. But
she's feisty,
yeah, she is feisty.
but
yeah,
Okay.
there is some tension between the
Definitely.
DePaul family and
The Mans-
Natalia.
Oh.
because Natalia is still under the influence of the Manses, and
Right.
the
Okay.
DePauls have already done so much for her just to get her to move in with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And they're
So
like,
for-
we need a little bit of money. Which she's a grown adult. She definitely should have thought about that. You know,
Mhm.
like,
yeah,
like I don't get a free ride everywhere. You know,
Right,
so I was
right.
on their side to that degree. She should have, switched over her social security
So where is
check.
that? Where is it at now?
where is it at now?
Yeah.
So everything does smooth over to where Natalia does hit a turning point with her perspective towards the Manses. She has suddenly realized, like, oh my goodness,
Oh my goosh.
oh my
Oh my
goodness,
goose. Like your doggy.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
She goes, oh my goodness, they're never going to give me any money that I need to, like.
She realizes that the Mans are using her,
Yeah,
at least to a degree. It's
Yeah.
not like she does. I think she
It's a
still loves them
slow-
and cares for them.
Yeah, but
It's
it was
a
a slow turning
transition,
point.
yeah.
Okay.
It took her a while.
And eventually, she does get the social security check, right? And then,
Yes. I think because
Yeah.
they got the law involved,
Right.
and the law was like, you can't be doing that.
you can't be
You can't be
taking
cashing
someone's
in her checks.
check
Yeah.
when she doesn't even
Uh-huh.
live there.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So,
And then I think now she's working on
now she
getting
lives
her
with the
GED.
DePauls.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
living with them. So that trauma did simmer down, but there was a lot of tension
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
between the families as Natalia was kind of sorting through just all of that.
It was drama. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And Neil was on board with her staying with the DePauls the whole time, and
Where's
he kept
Neil
saying
at now?
he was in London. Natalia did fly out and
Meet
visit him,
right?
and at that point in time, because they had to, she needed a valid ID and passport
Right.
to travel, and so immigration, when they saw her age didn't line up with her birth
they
certificate,
changed her
they
age
changed
back.
it. So now
Isn't that
she's
crazy? Yeah, that
is
actually
crazy.
her
Easy
legal
peasy,
age,
lemon
which I
squeezy.
I
Right.
don't know, which they
It
made it sound
it was
so
like
easy.
21.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was so easy. I'm like,
Yeah.
How
why
was
was this such
so
a mess
hard?
when
Yeah.
immigration was just
Right.
like, yeah, fix that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And
yeah,
they were
yeah.
like, "Oh, you're trying to get
That's all
away
it
with
took.
this," and she's like, "No, this has been a struggle
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
upon me for
all
so
she needed to
long."
do was ask for a passport, and
Right.
immigration was like, yeah, we got you.
It was,
Yeah.
I
it
don't
was
know what
pretty
this is
cool to
about.
see, though. Like, finally, she's
Yeah.
validated.
Validated
Yeah.
and like in the accuracy.
Yeah. So
So
now
as far
she's
as we know, she's just with them and doing
living her best
thing.
life in New York.
She's still
Yeah.
dating Neil?
I don't know if she's still dating Neil. That's a good question.
It's a
Let
good
me.
question.
It's a good question. He saved her. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
Kind of.
He helped.
he helped.
He was
helped.
a
He
big.
helped
He was a
facilitate.
positive influence.
He helped.
Yeah.
Is
But I also kind of feel
Natalia.
like he helped, and he also helped in seeing the control that the Mans family was having over her.
I think so. I
because
think
it's like if
he saw what
if she
was
never
happening.
entered a relationship with him, who knows how longer.
How
would've
much
took
longer
it.
would have taken her to
Yeah.
realize? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Any word?
subsequent reports have not provided updates on the relationship status, but in early 2025, Natalia expressed that she was in love with Neil.
Okay.
Oh.
They're probably
So that's
good.
pretty
They
recent.
together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get it, girl.
Neil and Natalia sitting in the tree. N as cute as can be.
What did you spell?
N Natalia, Neil, N.
Oh.
And she was officially
And-
adopted by the DePauls too. So now she is from
Right.
Natalia Mans to Natalia DePaul.
DePaul. Okay.
So kind of a happy ending.
Yes.
Rough road to
Rough
get there.
road. Years.
Rough.
And there's just so much that we still didn't really talk about. I feel like there's so much information. Like, you have to definitely watch it if you haven't
You have
watched
to
it
watch
already.
Yeah.
it because,
Yeah.
you know, it's hard to explain everything here. We don't have
Yeah.
all that time. But yeah, go watch it yourself.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Because it
Yeah.
sounds like we bounced around a lot, but this documentary is bouncing around a lot. There's because they just go through.
They go
the
back and
same
forth in time, it
situation
seems, too.
Well,
with
yeah,
different
they had to go through
perspectives.
the whole story. So
Yeah.
you heard it from Michael's perspective because Christine didn't want to be involved.
Mhm.
And then you have to go back through every situation
Mhm.
with Natalia. And then I feel like the third season's kind of like, okay, here we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And if you want a dramatized version, you should watch The Good American Family
Yeah.
on Hulu.
I watched that.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's the one woman with Grey's Anatomy. She's from Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, Meredith from
Yeah.
Grey's Anatomy. I don't know her actual name,
don't know her
but she
actual
plays
name.
She's
Christine.
just Meredith.
Yeah,
I heard
Yeah,
that
she's
she's
Meredith.
about to dip out of that show.
Oh,
I-
really?
I've heard that for years.
Okay, so maybe
I don't know.
That's just floating out
Yeah.
there.
She's probably burnt out, but she's like,
A lot of
keep
characters
going.
have left, so it wouldn't
Yeah,
be too
she probably
surprising.
makes decent money doing it.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all she's known for.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should definitely watch that together sometime if you haven't yet. Cherish. That'd be cool. But until next time,
Yeah.
let us know what you think of the show. If you have any
Also, if you guys
thoughts.
have any suggestions of what we should watch in the
Watch
coming up
next,
future
yeah.
too, because I'd love to
Comment.
like be on the same wavelength of some of our viewers of like what they're like excited to watch.
Yeah, and
too.
then we'll call
Absolutely.
you out and be like, so and so recommended we watch this.
Yeah, that too. That's
Yeah,
a good
that'd
idea.
be
We
fun.
should do that.
Shout out to our followers.
So
So,
comment, let us know. We'll pick out some good ones.
Yeah.
like,
Until next time.
subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Bye.